Welcome to our Source Weekly endorsement interviews. This one for the Redmond Parks and Recreation Board. We are here with John Golden and Matthew Gilman. We appreciate you both for giving your time today and answering questions for our readers.
Thanks
John,
for having us.
we are going to start with the first question with you. Maybe you could just introduce yourself and say why you're running for this position.
Well, my name is John Golden. I've lived in Redmond for about 20 years, and I'm running for the position because I wanted to get involved in our local community. And this Parks and Rec seemed like an excellent place to do that.
Great.
And that's kind of the long and short of it.
Okay. Matthew, could you tell us why you're running and introduce yourself to them?
Sure. Yeah. So again, Matthew Gilman here. I've been on the board for the last 4 years, and I'm just running again because I like what we're doing, and I have been involved, much like John was saying. You know, I wanted to get involved when I moved to the community about 5 years ago as a swimmer and as a parent with kids, and well, just one kid now in the community, and just with the idea that, you know, I like parks, I like recreation, I like healthy activities for people and how to get more involved so that more people could have a healthy lifestyle. And this seemed like the best way to do it. So I just started showing up to the meetings voluntarily. When I first moved here, they talked me into running for one of the positions. I had never wanted to be a politician of any kind or anything like that. I didn't even know it was an elected position, but here I am, you know, 4 years later, and still doing it again. And yeah, just hoping to continue with, making better, the future better for our Redmond citizens and community.
Thanks for that. So we'll just switch back and forth between you, and this one will start with Matthew. What in your mind are the biggest issues facing your district in the Redmond Park? The Parks Department, let me say.
So, well, yeah, and let's just be clear that, you know, we are the Redmond Area Parks and Rec District, not to be confused with the Redmond Parks and Rec or whatever, the city of Redmond Parks and Rec. They're two different things. So the Redmond Area Parks and Rec District, which we're talking about today, one of its main facilities is our Cascade Swim Center. It was built in 1979. It is great for a town of 6,500 or 7,000 people, which it was at the time. We now are a lot bigger, and with all of the construction that's going on and all the multifamily, all the new single family homes, we're projected to have a much bigger population. Already our pool facility is it's being run very well, but it is small. You know, I'm swimming there in the morning, and you know, people are mad because I'm splashing them in the pool, God forbid, when I'm swimming. And, we just don't have a dedicated time for water walkers. We don't have a dedicated time for water fitness classes. And so we're just under, and then we have another building called the Activity Center, and that is losing its lease at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So we're in a position now where we have one aging facility and one facility we're not even going to have. That one has, classes like Zumba and yoga and weights and all kinds of other things. And we need to take some action to move forward so that we're able to provide low cost solutions for the citizens of the district that we're talking to here. It's not just the city of Redmond, but it's the district. We have, I think, 45,000 people in our district right now, and our facilities aren't good enough. We have some great programming options, but we want to push this forward, and that's what I'm trying to help advise and do, and volunteer my time for.
Thanks. John, would you like a repeat of that question?
No, we're talking about the issues moving forward, correct?
Yeah. What are the biggest concerns for you?
Well, I would echo Mr. Gilman for a lot of that stuff. It's the explosive growth that's happening. And the Parks and Recreation District is so huge and it's so diverse. I don't know how you connect all those people to fund projects going forward. And so that would be my concern.
Thanks. We'll definitely circle back to that one because that's obviously a big issue and
Right.
for everyone in this area.
Yes.
So John, I'm gonna start with you. Redmond Parks Department has done a really good job with keeping their budget in check this year, even while other districts have seen to a larger degree have suffered due to COVID. What role do you see yourself as a board member playing in monitoring the budget? And if other budget or staffing cuts do need to happen in the near future, what would be your approach?
Well, actually, I don't know if I would be elected to the budget board. I suppose everybody is. Could you repeat that question? It was kind of long and I'm very sorry.
Yeah. What role do you see yourself as a board member playing in monitoring the budget? And if things continue in this fashion, do you see yourself making cuts to staff and other services?
I would hope we wouldn't have to make cuts to other services or the staff, because you can't run without a good staff, and they provide excellent services right now. So it would be trying to generate funding moving forward, which is kind of a tough nut to crack, but that would be my role that I would be looking at.
Okay. Matthew, do you need me to repeat that convoluted
I
question?
think I heard it twice and I think I got it by the second time. And yeah, I mean, John is right. You know, funding is an issue moving forward that is going to be holding us back. Our budget right now, we are very fiscally responsible, but is that to our own detriment at a certain point, right? We want to be able to offer more and provide more services and not cut things back. So it's great. Yeah, I mean, we have stayed within budget. We have a tax rate that is coming to us no matter what. And we don't run at a profit right now, not anywhere near a profit. We are, a service provider to the community. I would like to, try to get us doing things that are more fiscally enhancing to our budget, I guess. But I mean, if you have shown up, and I've been on the budget committee for the last 4 or 5 years. I think I was doing that before I was even a board member. But yeah, we're always talking about money first and making sure that we don't overdo it, because we don't want to get ourselves into a situation to where we are in debt. But I don't see any real need. I mean, they've been able to cut back when we've needed to. What I would like to do is be able to pay more to be able to offer more in the future, so that we don't have to be cutting out our facilities. We don't have to limit pool time. We don't have to, keep our budgets as succinct as they have had to be. And yeah, over this COVID time, it's been difficult. We've had to cut back on a lot of the programs that we had to offer, and it's a bummer. I mean, it's a bummer for the whole community. So I don't know if I danced around the question too much, but I don't really see that as being a major issue, because that's always one of the things that we put first as an organization.
Right.
So a lot of these questions are going to kind of circle around to things you've mentioned. Obviously, we came up with the questions before we started talking to you. But as Redmond grows, what would you do as a board member to maintain or improve Redmond Park's level of service, the district's level of service? And this one starts with you, Matthew.
Okay. Well, I just keep pushing for new activities, new ideas, new programs, hoping to get, we have good staff, we have qualified people. We sometimes can, when we do things year after year, we sort of get into habit. So I'm trying to always invoke new ideas and ways that we can look at things so that we can get more participants, so that as we move forward, and you can see if you look at the statement that I wrote in the voters pamphlet, we had a bond measure that was denied by the community last time. And my goal this time around is to not have something go that direction again. So listening to the community, creating a new plan, which we are in the early stages of doing now, and getting something passed that will provide a safe, great, big community place for everybody in our community, if that's what they're looking for, whether you're old and you're looking to be playing pickleball, or stretch or water therapy, whether you're young and are learning to swim for the first time, whether you are, moving to Redmond for the first time and you see all the climbers on Smith Rock and you say, well, how can I do that? Where is an introductory class so that I can do that in a safe space, to then go out and climb all the way up the side of Monkey Face? Or whether you're just a kid that has two parents that work like most of the people here in Redmond, and you need a place to go when it turns to 3:30 p.m. and nobody's home for you. Can I go play basketball? Can I go play ping pong? Can I go play on, create a Minecraft world at their computer lab? What are the different opportunities that we can offer? And I'm just trying to get to that kind of place, because when I moved here, we were broke, and going to be able to swim at a pool that was $3 and to be able to get my kid into swim lessons for a low cost. And then they even said on top of that, there's scholarship options available. That's what we need for the community. So I'm trying to just continue pushing that agenda forward.
John, you want me to repeat that question?
No, I would agree with him. It's expanding services for the expanding community is going to be a huge issue. And the space is real cramped. I think securing funding to develop that property on 35th Street is probably the next big thing that's going to face the city of Redmond and the Parks and Rec district. And so that's kind of what I feel is important. You can't include people if there isn't room for them to be there. So
exactly.
John, I'm going to start this question. We'll come back to you. Going on off of that last question we just asked, Redmond voters voted down a bond and a levy for a new community center pool in 2019. How do you bring that issue up again, and what do you say to those folks to energize them and see the value in that?
Well, and raising taxes is never going to be my first choice. I don't know how you generate income without raising taxes, but I don't know how you connect all these people and get them to vote on that bond when you have the people in Eagle Crest that already have pools and facilities aren't going to be using that, so aren't going to feel real connected. And how maybe the people in Crooked River Ranch or all these other rural areas, you're going to need their vote, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get them for a bond issue. So I was thinking maybe we should look at ways to generate revenue with some of the properties that Parks and Recreation District owns.
Okay. Matthew, would you like me to repeat the question?
I think I got it. Again, that is one of my main topics that I'm focusing on. And why did it fail the first time? And how do we change things moving forward? And, I think the reason that it failed the first time was that the message didn't speak to enough people in the right tone. And that means that we either didn't listen to them, or what we showed as our proposal didn't look organized enough, or it just didn't seem all that great. All they saw was, oh, this is going to increase my taxes, and I don't go to the pool, so what do I need that for? So, the goal this next time around, if we could find more private funding, wonderful. That would be amazing. We don't have great fundraisers on our staff. If you know of anybody that wants to do that and has a knack for that, we would welcome them with open arms. But that not being available, what I would like to have happen is that our message is a bit more succinct this time around, that we have a focused plan, that the marketing message is clear, and that we say, okay, last time okay, well, where is this facility going to be? And we said, well, it's going to be either here or it's going to be either here. And then it's like, well, how are you going to run that? Well, we're going to, you know what, this time around, that's not going to be the case. We know where it's going to be. We know who it's going to appeal to. And when you talk, John points out perfectly well, you know, yeah, we had like, how are we going to get all of these thousands of residents of Eagle Crest and Crooked River Ranch to vote for a new facility in a place that they might not care about? So, well, what can we offer that they aren't already getting? And what kind of picture can we paint for them that makes sense so that they say, okay, you know, this is good. You know, we also had many school bond issues that went down in flames, and fire issues that went down in flames for the community over the last few years that just recently were passed. So we're taking some of the learnings from them and trying to put those into our next program moving forward. So yeah, just listening, understanding. And I mean, all we got to do is flip 500 votes. So it's not, you know, it's not out of control. But I mean, I think that, I mean, I want to see 100% of people voting for it because it looks that obvious.
Thanks for that. Just want to switch to some legislative stuff. Basically, every public body in Oregon is going to have to contend with the fact that the legislature is likely to ban concealed weapons in public buildings. So just wanted to know what your position is on whether we should, you know, whether the buildings in Redmond should sign on to ban concealed weapons from entry into those buildings. And this one goes to you first, Matt.
Okay, well, bringing my pistol in my Speedo has never been that comfortable. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a gun guy, and I just like to sort of stay to the side of those issues. It has not been any type of issue in our community at this point that I've ever heard about, at least for the last 5 years. So I know it's a hot topic for a lot of people. I have, no real opinion one way or the other. If people feel like they're going to be more secure if they have their gun with them and they have the right to carry it, and we're open to that. I don't even know what our policy is right now. Okay, I mean, from what I've seen, I got a ton of friends that love guns and have concealed permits, and they're really safe with things. If we're I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't really see that as being, I mean, we're doing athletics and youth athletics. A lot of the stuff is outside. A lot of the stuff is in a pool. It just doesn't seem like, carrying a gun to a yoga class would make a lot of sense. But if that makes somebody feel a lot more secure and they have the right to do it, oh, okay. Yeah. Good question.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
The throw
I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, totally.
John, would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I understand it.
Thank you.
No, actually, I am a concealed weapons permit holder in Central Oregon, and I don't see any real need to ban weapons from any public facility. There's never been any issue with concealed weapon holders causing problems. However, going back to what Matt says, you can't really pack them in your yoga pants or your swimsuit, and you can't leave them. You can't leave a pistol unattended in a locker.
Exactly.
But I personally believe that the people that pass the test should be able to carry their weapons wherever they would like in public.
All right, thanks.
John, we're going to come back to you with this question.
Okay.
The needs and concerns of people of color have come more to the forefront this year. What more can Redmond Parks be doing to support equity and anti-racism?
Well, I don't know that there's any issues of racism in the Redmond Parks and Recreation District. When I go about town, I see that Redmond is a pretty diverse community, and I would imagine that diversity is reflected in the people that are in the Parks and Rec department. I have not personally heard of any issues right now that need to be addressed. So it seems like they're doing pretty good.
Okay. Matthew, you want me to repeat?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have all of our policies are all written to be as inclusive as possible. We do have scholarship monies and funding available for all people, all classes, all fund levels, whatever it is. And I mean, maybe I'm just still living in a dreamland utopia, but I haven't seen a bunch of my wife is a minority, I guess you could say. And, we found that this community is just very nice. And we haven't seen, I mean, I'm talking to all kinds of people at all kinds of days. And yeah, some people might say things that sound a little weird, but it might, I don't know. I mean, it's just like, I've found this to be, and I've lived in New York City. I've lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've lived in Norman, Oklahoma. And I found that actually the people here have been the most colorblind that I have seen in any place. I mean, that was one of the things that attracted my wife and I to Oregon, was it just seemed like people here look you in the eye. They talk to you like you're a person, and they don't look at all this other, baloney, I guess, not trying to use proper language, but I just think a lot of that stuff gets caught up in the media a little bit. But we need to reach out, and we do. We reach out in the schools, we reach out to people through emails, through Facebook, to things that most people, at the library have access to, and we want everybody from all walks. And I mean, I would say we try to cater towards the people that don't have access to their own private facilities and their own private trainers and things like that. So that will tend to skew towards the minority groups. And, that's awesome. I mean, that's, we're trying to bring everybody up in this community. And yeah, I mean, our policies reflect that.
Great, thanks. So this is sort of a little shade of the same line of questioning, but this year has been tough, really tough financially for obviously public bodies, but also individuals. And so it's got us thinking about the needs of, low income users of facilities. Do you think that the district is doing enough to foster low income folks from being able to access the facilities? And what can we do to, what could they?
Well, I mean,
be doing
COVID
to be
was
better?
terrible. COVID was terrible. It was terrible for everybody, and especially low income people. I mean, it was horrible. I think that the rich have gotten richer and the poor have gotten poorer. And I think that these have to be addressed. And I hope that they can be addressed at a much bigger level and a much more understanding level than our paltry organization that we have. We doing the best that we can. I guarantee you that. But it's like, you can't have swim lessons going on. Well, guess who's affected by that? Everybody is affected by that, but especially the lower income, especially we have such little access to pools anyway that, and then, I mean, it's been awful. I mean, and I don't know. I'm just rambling on because it is a sore subject with me, because in my day job, I am a real estate agent, and I've seen the effects of high housing prices. And I've seen that it's difficult. I mean, in my first year doing this, I was selling $200,000 houses all day long, and you could work any job. As long as two people go to work, you get yourself a house. Well, that's not the case anymore in Redmond. So how are we addressing that as a society differently? And I mean, our facilities, as soon as they're open, we give out free STEM packages every week to people. We were doing that in COVID. Just drive up, get this science project, get this tech project, this engineering project, come over here, get that, and go, and then go home and do it yourself. We have activities like the 4th of July event that we were always able to do up until last year that we just didn't do this year. So who couldn't afford their own fireworks? I mean, these are societal issues. And I mean, I hope that we're, all moving forward from there, but I don't really see that as being a RAPRD specific issue at this time. I mean, we're very inclusive, and we cater to the people that don't have access to a lot of the things that some of the wealthier subset might.
Matthew, you got a city council platform there. you're in the park.
Yeah, I'm busy enough just trying to raise my own family. Like I say, I got talked into this 4 years ago, and I'm just, this is my community thing. And yeah, I'm passionate about it, but I don't live in the city of Redmond. I actually live outside of the city. So I'm uneligible to run for any city council. So phew.
Well, you just step above to your house district, and let's serve well there.
John, would you like us to repeat that question?
No, I think I understand it. That
Okay.
yeah, the whole COVID thing has been horrible, and it's affected the most fragile people in our society the most: the very young, the very old, and the low-income people. And that's the real issue. Is we just got to get open back up again. I think Matt said they're very inclusive. Almost anybody can use those facilities. They just have to be open to use them. And
yeah, I mean, I mean, we got buses that bring people from everywhere to, you call up that Cascades Transit or whatever, people come, yeah, it's a nice inclusive place. So sorry to, jump on your bandwagon, John.
I was kind of jumping on yours.
I'm excited to be working with you in the future. We're gonna, whether or not you win, I win. We're gonna get you involved. That's for sure. So we need people. That's we need people like you.
Yeah, I guess I was just curious, like, would you either of you support like expanding scholarship programs or things like that? I mean, is that something that is a conversation right now with just the way things are?
Absolutely. I mean, any extra monies that we get are, they're used properly. Like I said, this is one of the most fiscally responsible groups that I've ever been around in my life, sometimes to a detriment of innovation, but I don't know of anybody that's like, well, I was going to sign my kid up for soccer, but we couldn't afford it. That's not really a conversation that we're hearing. We make, you come into the front desk, there's scholarship, I went in, I was brand new in town. They said, well, here's the prices and here's the scholarship information if you can't afford these prices. That made me feel really comfortable because at that time I could use scholarship money to do private lessons, or not private lessons, but swim lessons for my kid. And to put no stigma on it or nothing like that, it did make me feel very comfortable to be here. So, we're continuing with that trend.
John, did you want to add anything about scholarships?
No, I actually had the same experience as Mr. Gilman did years ago when my kids were involved in athletics. They always asked if we needed scholarship right off the bat. And I think the more people you can get in there in the community, the better the community is. So yeah, whenever possible, I would like to see people get in there for free.
So John, and Matthew, we're at the end of our questions and time together here. Is there, John, we'll start with you. Is there anything else that you'd like to speak to that we may have missed, and take this opportunity to sell yourself to the readers?
No, I don't really need to see anything you missed. I would like to say that I'm very excited to be part of Parks and Rec. It played a huge part of my life growing up in Bend. And I think churches, schools, and your Parks and Recreation departments are where communities are built. So I'm excited to be a part of that.
Great. Matthew?
Yeah, I'll echo his sentiment. That's, I was looking for a place to be involved. I was always a athlete and a participant in things. I've had my kids involved. I've liked coaching. I just think that being, healthy, living a healthier lifestyle leads to better mental stability, leads to better social connections, leads to stronger communities. And the Redmond community, although some people say, oh my gosh, it's growing so much and it's so much bigger, we're still a community here. We're still not so big that you don't see your mayor at the grocery store, that you don't see your school teachers at the park. And I love that about this place. And the more that we can continue to join together as a community, and if those activities can be around things that are based on your health and fitness and well-being and brain activities and physical activities, then the better. So.
Well, we just want to thank you both for being here with us today. We know it's not easy running a campaign and running for office. So just, thanks for taking part in that process for everyone in the community. And best of luck in your campaigns.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thanks for
All
having
right.
us.
Good luck, John.
And good luck to you, Matt.
And we'll be in touch.
I'm sure we'll be talking again.
Yes, please. All right, man. We'll talk to you guys later.